The Moon and Sixpence is a famous novel. It was written by the British writer W. Somerset Maugham. It was published in 1919. The story is based on the life of the French painter Paul Gauguin. But the writer changed the names and many events. The novel tells the story of a man. He leaves his family. He leaves his normal job. He wants to become an artist. He followed a very strong feeling inside himself. He no longer cared about money, comfort, or what other people said about him. Where does the title, The Moon and Sixpence, come from? It comes from an idea. The moon is a symbol of something high and beautiful. It stands for art, dreams, and the human spirit. A sixpence was a small coin in old British money. It stands for money, daily life, and ordinary things. The novel asks a question. Which one should a person choose? The moon or the sixpence? The main character in the story chose the moon, but his choice brought great pain. He felt the pain. Many people around him also felt the pain. Charles Strickland lived in London. London is the capital of England. He worked as a stockbroker. A stockbroker helps people buy and sell shares in companies. It was a normal job. It paid him a good amount of money every year. Strickland was not a famous man. He was not very interesting to most people. He looked like thousands of other men in London. He had a wife. Her name was Mrs. Strickland. She liked to have parties at their home. She invited writers and artists to come and talk. She wanted to be part of the cultural world. Strickland did not talk very much at these parties. He looked like a normal husband. He wore dark suits. He had brown hair and a plain face. He was tall and strong, but not handsome. People thought he was a good man, but a very boring man. They did not remember him after he left the room. He and his wife had 2 children, a boy and a girl. They lived in a nice house with a garden. They had enough money to live comfortably. Everything seemed fine on the outside. But one day, something strange happened. Mrs. Strickland told a friend that her husband had left. He went to Paris. Paris is the capital of France. She thought he ran away with a woman. She asked the friend, who was a writer, to go to Paris. She wanted him to find Strickland and bring him back home. The writer agreed to help her. He took a train to Paris. He wanted to find the truth. The writer went to Paris. He found Strickland staying in a cheap hotel. The hotel was dirty and very small. There was no woman with him. Strickland was completely alone. The writer was very surprised. He asked Strickland why he left his family. He asked if he had a new woman. Strickland said no. He said he left because he wanted to paint. He did not care about his job anymore. He did not care about his wife. He did not care about his children. He said, "I have to paint. I cannot help myself." A man falls into the water. He cannot swim. It does not matter if he is good or bad. He must get out of the water. That is how I feel. I must paint. The writer said, but you are 40 years old. You are not a young man. People will talk badly about you. You have almost no money. What will you do? Strickland said, when I was a boy, I wanted to paint, but his father made him work in business. Now the feeling inside him was too strong. He had to paint. He did not care if his paintings were good or bad. He did not care if people liked them. He just had to do it. That was all that mattered to him. The writer returned to London. He told Mrs. Strickland the truth. She was very hurt by what she heard, but she was also a proud woman. She did not want people to know something. Her husband left her. He left her for art. That sounded strange and shameful to her. So she told people a different story. She said he ran away with a dancer. That sounded more normal to her friends. She started a new life for herself. She learned to type letters. She learned to do secretarial work. She made her own money. She never forgave Strickland. But after some time, she did not love him anymore. She just wanted to forget that he ever existed. Her children grew up without their father. They learned to live without him. Strickland lived in Paris for several years. He was very poor most of the time. He lived in small, dirty rooms in bad parts of the city. He sometimes did not have food to eat for a whole day. He got sick sometimes because he was too weak and hungry, but he kept painting every day. He did not try to sell his paintings. He did not show them to other people. He painted only for himself. He was not a friendly man. He said mean and cruel things to people. He never said thank you. He never said sorry. He did not care about anyone else's feelings. Many people did not like him, but some people felt something special about him. They saw fire in his eyes when he talked about art. One man named Dirk Stroeve was very kind to him. Stroeve was also a painter, but his paintings were not very good. He painted pretty pictures of children and gardens. People liked his paintings because they were nice to look at. He made a good living. He sold many paintings. He had a very kind heart. He saw that Strickland was a genius. A genius is a person with a very special and great ability. Stroeve knew that his own paintings were not great, but he could see greatness in Strickland's work. He tried to help Strickland in many ways. He lent him money. He gave him food. He invited him to his home for dinner. Strickland was always rude to him. He laughed at Stroeve's paintings. He said mean things to Stroeve's face. But Stroeve did not get angry. He believed that Strickland was a true artist. He believed that great art was more important than being polite. A man paints great pictures. He said that such a man cannot be judged like other men. Stroeve had a wife. Her name was Blanche. She was a quiet woman. She worked as a governess before she married Stroeve. A governess is a woman who teaches children in their home. She did not like Strickland at all. She thought he was a cruel and strange man. She asked her husband to stay away from him. She said Strickland would bring trouble to their home. But Stroeve could not leave Strickland alone. He felt very sorry for him. He wanted to protect him. He believed that Strickland needed help to paint his great pictures. One winter, Strickland got very sick. He was almost dying. Stroeve found him lying in his small, dirty room. Strickland had a very high fever. His body was hot. He could not get up. He could not take care of himself. Stroeve begged his wife to let Strickland stay in their home. He said Strickland would die alone if they did not help him. Blanche did not want to agree. She felt afraid of Strickland. But finally, she said yes. She took care of Strickland while he was sick. She cleaned his wounds. She gave him medicine. She stayed with him day and night for many weeks. After many weeks, Strickland got better. His body became strong again. But something changed during that time. Blanche fell in love with Strickland. She wanted to be with him. Strickland did not love her, but he wanted to paint her. He thought about her face. He thought about her body. They were interesting for a painting. He asked her to leave her husband and live with him. She said yes, without hesitating. Stroeve was heartbroken when he heard this. He loved his wife very much. He cried and begged her not to go. But she went away with Strickland. Stroeve left his own house to them. He could not stand to see them together. He moved to a small room alone. He felt very sad. But he still did not hate Strickland. He still believed that Strickland was a great artist. He said, "A man is a great artist. He cannot be judged like other men. His art is more important than his actions." Blanche lived with Strickland for a few months. It was not a happy time for her. Strickland only wanted to paint. He did not want love. He did not want comfort. He did not want to talk. He used Blanche as a model for his paintings. Then, after some time, he grew tired of her. He wanted to leave her. One day, Blanche drank a poison. She tried to kill herself because she could not stand the pain. Strickland had left her. Someone took her to a hospital. She stayed there for many days. She was in great pain. She did not speak to anyone. She did not want to see Stroeve. Even though he came to visit her many times, she died a few days later. Stroeve was destroyed by sadness. He cried for many days. He could not eat or sleep. He went to see Strickland. Strickland did not feel sorry at all. He said Blanche was a foolish woman. He said love is a kind of sickness. He said he only wanted to paint. That was the only thing that mattered in his life. Then Strickland showed Stroeve a painting. He had made the painting. The painting was of Blanche. It was a picture of a naked woman lying on a bed. It was very beautiful. but it was also frightening in a strange way. Stroeve could see that it was a masterpiece. Stroeve was very angry. He wanted to destroy the painting, but he could not do it. He knew it was too important. He knew that such a painting would live forever. He left Paris. He went back to his home country, Holland. He never painted again for the rest of his life. He became a sad and quiet man. After Blanche died, Strickland left Paris. He went to Marseille, a big city in the south of France. He had no money. He had no friends. He found a job on a ship. The ship took him to many different places. He worked hard on the ship. He did not complain. Finally, he arrived on an island called Tahiti. Tahiti is in the South Pacific Ocean. It is a very beautiful place. The weather is warm all year. The mountains are green. The water is clear and blue. The people are friendly and simple. Strickland felt at home there for the first time in his life. He liked the simple way of life on the island. He did not have to wear a suit. He did not have to talk to boring people. He could just paint all day without anyone bothering him. In Tahiti, Strickland met a young woman. Her name was Atta. She was a native of the island. She was about 17 years old. She had brown skin and dark hair. Her eyes were kind. Atta fell in love with Strickland. She did not ask for very much from him. She gave him food. She kept the house clean. She did not talk too much. She did not bother him when he was painting. They got married in a simple local ceremony. There was no big party. There were no expensive clothes. They moved to a small house in the jungle. It was far away from the town. There were no other houses nearby. They had 2 children together, a boy and a girl. Strickland was happier there than he had ever been before. He painted the mountains, the trees, the sky, the ocean, and the local people. He put great power and feeling into his paintings. He did not show anyone his paintings. He did not need anyone to praise him. He only needed to paint. A few years later, Strickland got very sick. He had a serious skin disease. This skin disease damaged his skin and nerves. No medicine could cure it. Some people had this disease. They had to live apart from other people. No one wanted to come near them. They were afraid of getting sick too. But Atta stayed with Strickland. She did not leave him, even though she could also get sick. They had no doctor. They had no medicine. For many months, Strickland could not paint. The disease damaged his hands. His fingers became useless. But near the end of his life, he could paint again. He painted on the walls of their small house. He painted a great picture. The picture covered all 4 walls. These were the walls of the main room. It showed the beginning of the world. It showed the jungle and the gods. It showed the secret of birth and death. It was the greatest painting he ever made. A doctor came to see him from the town. The doctor saw the painting. He was amazed. The doctor said it was a work of true genius. He said he had never seen anything like it. Strickland died in that small house in the jungle. He was blind for the last few months of his life. His eyes could not see anymore. But he sat in the room. He looked at his painting. He looked with his blind eyes. He felt peace inside himself. He felt that his work was done. Before he died, he told Ada to burn the house after his death. He wanted her to burn everything. He did not want anyone to see his last great painting. After Strickland died, Ada did what he asked. She set the house on fire. The fire burned everything. The great painting was destroyed. Nothing was left of it. Only ashes remained. After Strickland died, his paintings slowly became known to the world. People saw that he was a truly great painter. His paintings sold for very high prices. People wrote books about his life and called him a genius. In London, Mrs. Strickland had grown old. She put her husband's paintings on the wall. But she never really understood her husband. She always thought he was just a strange man. He left her. He had no good reason for leaving. Their 2 children also grew up. One became a soldier. The other worked in the government. They had nothing in common with their father. One of Strickland's children from Tahiti survived. He worked on a ship. He was a happy and simple person. The writer met him. The writer felt that this son truly inherited Strickland's spirit. The son was not the famous artist. He was not the cruel man either. He was a free and simple soul. Charles Strickland's story is strange and difficult. He hurt many people. He left his wife and children. He broke his friend's heart. He caused a woman's death. He never apologized and never felt guilty. But he also created great beauty. He followed his dream all the way to the end of his life. He did not care about money, comfort, or love. He paid a high price for his art. Others paid an even higher price. The novel does not judge whether he was right or wrong. It only tells his story. Every reader must decide for himself which is more valuable, the moon or the sixpence? Or does a person need both? There is no simple answer. And perhaps that is the meaning of the story.